This investigation did not start because librarians at NARA came out and said there are overdue library books. Excuse me, you guys forgot to return X. As a former federal prosecutor, as the guy who led the intelligence community, classified investigations don't start there. You know where they start? When you have a crime that you are investigating. You know what crime the DOJ was looking at for the last 4 years? Hunter Biden's laptop. Mark my word, this classified investigation will be put out by the federalization of the weaponization of the Federal Government Subcommittee on Jim Jordan when they get the following document. The electronic communication, the EC, just like Devin and I got in Russiagate, that is a singular document of the FBI that says where and when the investigation started. It will trace right back to Hunter Biden's laptop. They will find information on it about China and Russia and Ukraine, which led them to go and search for documentation relevant to that crime, which led them to Joe Biden's door. And that's why I have always said, when NARA said, oh, we're missing one set of documents, I said that is the biggest political cover-up of a crime I've ever seen, and it's going to be a waterfall of documents. And now they've come out. And that leads me to the intent portion, Steve. The fact that Joe Biden has all these lawyers who are around the documents and investigation, let's put that aside. None of these lawyers are telling him to shut up. He's out there literally lying and talking about consciousness of guilt. It's a federal term we use in criminal trials. I have no idea. I didn't know this was going on. It's like me when I was a public defender and defended murders, and they were like, they tell the cops, oh, I don't know what happened. And then the cops put out the receipts, and then they put it in front of the jury, and they're like, hey, you lied about it to the world. This guy just doesn't know when to quit. And the fact that they were in the wild for 15 to 20 years is a reflection on his intent. He's going to continuously say he had no idea what was going on for 20-some years as it relates to classified documentation. And remember the intent requirement for classified documents when it comes to being a felony. You simply have to be reckless, which means you have to be doing what Joe Biden is doing right now.
Okay, look, as we found a handful of documents were filed in the wrong place. We immediately turned them over to the archives and the Justice Department. We're fully cooperating and looking forward to getting this resolved quickly. I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there. Thank you.
The key verbiage in that entire statement you just played is, quote, we found, end quote. Biden and his camp found these documents. Steve, it goes back to the point we were talking about before the commercial break. What led Biden and his camp to go look for these documents in the first place? Do you think this guy woke up from a 19-year coma and said, oh, I should go look for these classified documents? No, the DOJ was on the manhunt of the Hunter Biden investigation. And during that process, this is where these documents were uncovered. And that's why they set up the fictional date of November 2nd with the librarians. That was the other part of the quote where Joe Biden goes, oh, we called the librarians at NARA and said, here you go. No, nobody's asking. The question is, why did we find the documents? You, Joe Biden, and your camp.
Yes.
What were you doing looking for them in the first place? It's not like they were cleaning out the broom closet. This latest issue of them saying, oh, it's an ongoing investigation. There is no rule of law that forbids them from turning these documents over except their traditions of covering up corruption. And here's the better news. The government, the weaponization of the Federal Government Subcommittee not only issues subpoenas, but here's what they do next. We talked about on your show. They take their money. They want to play hardball? No problem. You take the FBI and DOJ's money by doing what we call fencing, and you put up pockets of money and you literally build artificial walls around them. And you say, hey, Chris Wray, you can't have your 10 new Escalades. Hey, Merrick Garland, you can't have your $50,000 new coffee table for your office. These guys operate based on taxpayer-funded corruption. And the only way we are going to get through to that is by taking their money. It's totally legal. And the Speaker of the House can authorize it. We did it in Russiagate once to Rod Rosenstein and Chris Wray because Paul Ryan wouldn't let us do it again. And I got 1,000 pages of documents that people said we'd never get about the FISAs and Russiagate, the Bruce Orr 302s, Steele, Perkins Coie, and everything else. It's totally doable.